Recently, I've been looking through a few of my favourite photographs that I've taken over the last couple of years, and I've noticed a post-production trait. A set of sliders that I think I push in the opposite direction to the way that most other photographers push them. In this video, I'm not only going to share with you what those sliders are, I'm going to show you my technique and reveal how I think if you put it into practice yourself, it might not only save some of your photographs, it could change your whole perspective on post-production. The sliders in question are grouped under the title Presence in Adobe Lightroom. Your personal post-production software might have a different name for it, like Detail or Microcontrast, but they all do the same thing. In Lightroom specifically, the Presence sliders include Texture, Clarity, Dehaze, and then at the bottom a little colour editing panel with Vibrance and Saturation. I think a good place to start is understanding what each of these sliders do when you alter them in your post-production software. So let's start off with the first three: Texture, Clarity and Dehaze. These all deal with something known as microcontrast. So instead of affecting the general contrast of the scene, they are editing the contrast within finer detail parts of the picture in slightly different ways. If you alter the general contrast across the whole of the photograph, you'll see a shift between the brightest highlight and the darkest shadow. If you increase contrast, then the brighter areas of your picture will become brighter and the darker areas of your picture will become darker. Now this also has a slight bearing on the saturation of the photograph as well, as you're subtly changing the luminance of the colours, i.e. how bright those colours are. So if you increase contrast, you'll often see that the colours in your picture just become a little bit more punchy. So when it comes to our three initial presence sliders dealing with micro contrast, that's sort of all happening on a finer detail level. The texture slider deals with the finest of detail. If I increase it on this photograph of a sunrise, for example, you will see that everything just starts to look a little bit more crisp. There's more detail in the subtle clouds in the sky, the ripples in the foreground, and the detail on the waves on the sea. You'll notice as well that this one doesn't actually affect the colour of the photograph. That's because it's just targeting that really fine micro contrast that is just giving the photograph a little bit more sharpness, for want of a better word. The clarity slider is a little bit more attuned to increasing contrast around the edges of details within a photograph. This will subtly affect the colour of the photograph, often making it look a little bit more saturated, but it won't affect the brightest highlight and darkest shadow, being more targeted to subtle areas within the photograph rather than the tonal range of the whole thing. As you can see in our sunrise example, if I push the clarity to 100%, not only is that micro contrast really popping, you can also see a slight increase in the saturation and also quite a stark difference between the highlights and shadows. The dehaze slider is a tool that targets areas where there isn't a huge amount of contrast, and by increasing that slider, it adds more contrast into those areas, especially into those micro contrast detail areas. This allows you to breathe a little bit more life into those less contrasty parts of a photograph, like a hazy sky or a foggy scene. But as you can see on this sunrise example, if you push it to 100%, then things start to look very psychedelic indeed, because it's where it starts to affect the saturation of the photograph and also the general contrast from the brightest highlight to the darkest shadow. I presume that the reason the vibrance and saturation sliders also come under this presence category is because once you've edited that micro contrast and potentially thrown off the vibrance and saturation of your photograph ever so slightly, you can go back and tweak it to your liking. In terms of these colour sliders, vibrance will protect already saturated colours and breathe a little bit more life into undersaturated colours in comparison, whereas saturation is basically the amount of colour that you are seeing. So take the slider right down to the left and the picture becomes black and white, and push it all the way up to the right and a car crash happens. So I hear you ask, how am I using these sliders differently to everybody else? Well, I often find when you watch YouTube videos or read articles about these presence sliders, everybody's talking about increasing them, breathing that extra micro contrast into your photographs. But I often find the best way to use them is to decrease them. So losing a little bit of that micro contrast in favour of a little bit more of a hazy, dreamy look to your pictures. Referring back to this sunrise photograph that I've been using as an example throughout this video, slightly decreasing these micro contrast sliders adds that nice feeling of relaxation to the sunrise scene, rather than picking out lots of detail and drawing the eye here, there and everywhere. It just makes you feel a little bit more when you look at it. I must stress at this point two very important things. When it comes to post-production, there's no right way or wrong way of editing your photographs. If you like the punchy, high contrast look, then feel free to push these sliders as much as you want to. But if you want a more dreamy effect, then pulling them in the opposite direction can not necessarily weaken the sharpness and quality of your photograph, but intensify the mood that you're trying to convey through them. And secondly, when it comes to post-production, subtlety is always key. In videos like this, just as I've done, you often see the extremes of pushing it to 100% to pulling it to 0%. And that's a good way of seeing the difference in what these sliders can actually do. But when it comes to real-life photo editing, just tweaking them ever so slightly around that 0 point can make a really big difference. And as you've seen, if you push them or pull them too far, then the photograph just looks a little bit ugh. The reason I wanted to make this video is that I think that a lot of photographers get into the trap of thinking when it comes to editing photographs in post-production, those sliders are all there to be increased and pushed to the right, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to so-called enhance our pictures. But there's a reason why all of the sliders are set at that 0 point when you start editing your photograph. It's because there's two ways of going about things. So don't necessarily be afraid of going into the negative when you're editing your photographs, because it might just have a positive effect on the overall outcome of your edit. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you want to take your post-production knowledge even further, then watch this video next. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, it's bye from me for now.